Welcome back to Books and Bubbles, the podcast where we talk about our favorite book obsessions while sipping on tasty drinks themed to our books. I'm Paige.
I'm Bethany.
And I'm Maggie.
And today we're going to be talking about Ask for Andrea by Noelle Ihli. We're really excited to get into this. This is a really unique thriller. Maggie's going to grab our first drink to start us off.
All right. So to start us off, I made us all spiked water. So as you can see, it looks like water. It looks, perfectly fine. I put Alka-Seltzer in this, so you're all in for a nasty surprise, honestly. I hate Alka-Seltzer so much, but Noelle suggested it as a drink, and I did get the lemon lime flavored, so hopefully it's, not the worst thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
So, cheers, ladies.
Cheers. If you didn't know, Maggie mentioned the live we did with Noelle, but we did do an interview with her, which was really fun. And we have clips from that up on all of our socials. So definitely check that out. She was super fun to talk to.
Yes.
Yeah. What a privilege.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah. I enjoyed every second of it until she said Alka-Seltzer.
And then we're like, dang it, we have to do that.
We have to do that. And yeah.
So Ask for Andrea was different from any other thriller book I had ever read, including like missing persons books or anything like that. Just the perspective was so different. You were reading from the victim's point of view. Are dead, like they're ghosts going through everything. And I'd never seen anything like that. What did you guys think?
Yeah, I loved it because most thrillers you're following either a detective or you're following maybe even the person who's committing the crimes or some other person like related to them, but it's never from the victim's POV. And I thought it was a really cool switch in narrative and added such like a unique aspect to the thriller as you're watching these three women who are all killed by the same man kind of like haunt him basically.
Yeah, it was super unique, and I've never seen anything like that either. It hooked me right away because you do start off like in the first chapter with like one of his victims becoming dead, which is instantly like, you pick up this book and you're like, oh, we're in for it. I'm so excited.
Yeah, we do have three different POVs in this book and kind of three different timelines, and they do all like come together in a really cool way too.
I feel like it's kind of like a really fun girlhood almost in death.
Yeah.
Like it's like Dead Girls Club.
Yes, Dead Girls Club meets thriller.
Yes. Yeah, they find solace in each other, and it's really beautiful.
Yeah, it was just not what I thought I was going to read. I loved it so much, and I think Noelle did a really beautiful job of telling the victim stories.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. And for those of you who haven't seen her live, she was also saying that like that's a narrative that she wanted to include in this book. Was so many times she was referencing like Ted Bundy. You hear his story so much, but you never hear what the victims were like. And I think she did a really great job of breathing life into that with this book. Like you definitely felt like you knew your victims, and they didn't feel like victims. They were people,
Mm-hmm.
And that's ultimately what we all are people. So
Yeah.
it was beautiful.
And the focus wasn't on the guy, which I loved too, because it's like a lot of the times with like Ted Bundy, you're giving him all of the limelight. Like he's the one that you're giving all the screen time to. The adaptations, you're casting some like really attractive guy that like everybody,
Zac Efron.
Yeah, so I liked that the focus was completely shifted, and it was really just, I mean, it is a thriller at its core, but it's like so much more than that, and you feel so much more emotion than you normally would for just like a normal thriller book.
Yeah, so if you have not picked it up, I would seriously recommend reading it. It was just a completely different experience from any other book I've ever read.
Yeah. And it was a super quick read. Like you could breeze through this.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween.
For real. Speaking of which, like, let's talk about the short chapters for a minute, because when I was reading this, I kept planning on putting this down, and then I'd look in the next chapter's like 2 pages. And we've talked about this with like Freedom McFadden books too, but like there's just always something about the short chapters. You can't put the book down.
No. And it was so perfect. And with getting a POV change from each chapter.
And with those 3 POVs, like we start with them being kind of spread apart in time. I think it's 2 years ago, 1 year ago, and then present day. But we do like throughout the book, you're getting them closer to merging together. And eventually they do all merge, which is like where the story gets the most tense and builds up to like a really like climactic ending. But that was fun too, because you kind of know they're all going to come together eventually, but all 3 women are on their own like ghosty journey at first.
Yeah. This book was just such a perfect blend of everything that I love in a book. And it was quick. Just chef's kiss. Loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and when that did happen where they all merged together, it felt like a second act. Like it was just like, I'm so ready to get into all of this.
Was this your guys' first book by her?
Yes, and then as soon as I finished it, I was like, oh, now I have to read Run on Red.
Yeah, I wish I would have read Run on Red because it sounded like you guys both really enjoyed it. This was my first one, but it will not be my last. That's for
Good.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I had read Run on Red before and didn't know what I was in for going into this book, and it was completely different. So you know this because you read them both now. Very different vibes, but they're both so like addicting. Like I couldn't put down either of them. When I read Run on Red, Run on Red is a horrible combo of words, by the way. I hate that. But when I read that book, I was packing up my condo before we were moving into our house, and that day was my most productive day of packing ever because I started the audiobook and I literally didn't press pause until I was done, and I was just packing the whole time because I was like, I don't want to stop. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
It's definitely more, I would say, a traditional thriller as opposed to like this had its own like specific purpose she was going for. But that's one that like from page one, it's kind of nonstop crazy.
Yeah.
Whereas this one kind of builds as you go. But they're both so good, and they definitely won't be my last of her books too. I'm excited to go read her other books.
Are you guys super excited for, she kind of hinted at this in our live stream, she's coming out with a prequel for Ask for Andrea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it comes out like next month, which is perfect.
Yeah, it comes out in like a week.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so excited.
yeah. I'm super excited.
Yeah. We didn't know until that day that there was a prequel coming. So that was like such a shock, let alone for it to be coming out in like a couple weeks. It was really cool.
Yeah, I'm glad that I don't have to wait.
Yes.
Yeah, especially our listeners won't have to wait because this is coming out on
Halloween. And then that'll come out on the 4th, I think is the date. So it'll be like,
Yeah, they'll
Just
have
a few
just
days
enough
later.
time to listen to or read Ask for Andrea, and then they can get into the other one.
yes.
Yeah, so be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Forget You Saw Her because it's actually, I think she said it was supposed to be the origin story for who she pictured as Andrea. Because, I mean, hopefully if you're here, you've read the book. But if you haven't, you will hopefully pause when we tell you to pause for spoilers. But in the book, Ask for Andrea, there's actually nobody named Andrea. Ask for Andrea is something that you see at the bar. There's like a phone number in the girls' bathroom that says, hey, if you're uncomfortable, ask for Andrea at the bar. They'll call somebody to get you help. So the whole premise of the Ask for Andrea and the phone number was supposed to be for the girlies to be safe at the bar. And this new story, Forget You Saw Her, is supposed to be about Andrea and her origin story and the girl that inspired the need for the phone number.
Yeah, and in the prequel, she told us on the live it's based on a like true story that she had seen, and the person's name was like Andrea or something, very similar. And she's like, that is my Andrea.
Yeah.
And so that's the story that she's building off of. It is based on a true story of this mom who had given her child up for adoption when they were born. And she found out later, when I think that child would have been an adult at this point, that they were a missing person.
Yeah.
And so it's her trying to like track down and find her daughter that she had given up for adoption.
Yeah.
Which sounds like such a cool story.
Yeah.
Like, I'm super excited to read that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like already getting goosebumps.
Yeah, same.
I'm like, oh my gosh. But yeah. Yeah, so that will be out like shortly after this episode release. So there you go. Your next 2 books are already picked out for you.
That you'll read in like 1 second because you won't put them down.
Yeah. You'll say thank you at the end. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah.
We're going to start a new little segment in our podcast episodes where we're going to read a random like 1-star review that we either found funny, or sometimes maybe it's a 1-star review that we can find some like actual critiques that maybe is relevant to the book. But these ones I think are just more funny because we all loved this book. But the first one that I found, it says, instead of asking for Andrea, I would like to ask for a refund as well as the time back that I spent on this book. Skull emoji.
Oh my God.
Wait.
This book takes almost no time.
No,
also.
it takes like 2 hours to read.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, harsh.
Brutal.
Yeah. Okay, this one says, what? This is not a thriller. Be warned, anyone who reads thrillers. This is not that. Nor is it horror. It's a ghost guide to being a useless ghost. I mean,
Okay, I see a little bit of I get it, but I don't.
I get it.
but I loved it.
I know.
Why
The
is that
ghost-
not a 5-star review?
Yes.
Yeah.
The ghosts can't like actually do a ton.
Yeah.
They can influence if they get like really heightened emotions, they can make like a light flicker or like
Yeah.
your computer stop working. So they were messing with the guy.
Yeah.
They can't like actually harm him. So
Right.
I get that it's like, oh, they're not actually, but like they were.
For the record, those are the kind of ghosties that I would prefer to live with.
yeah.
Well,
I don't want you there in general, but I hope that's all you can do.
yeah. And I mean, they're ghosts. They're not poltergeists. Like, what do you expect them to do?
Yeah, they're just girlies.
Yeah, they're just.
It says, good God almighty, what a boring book. Really loved how there was no plot in sight.
What?
Did you read
What?
it?
Was this the same book?
Yeah, I felt like I followed.
I felt like I followed the plot.
I
Yeah.
did. I could see if there wasn't any ending where they all got together. And maybe like I don't understand that.
I was
Did
gonna
they
say
finish
there
the
was
book?
totally a resolution. There was
Yes.
the climax. There's exposition.
Yeah.
It all happened.
I don't think she read the book.
Yeah.
I think she DNF'd it.
Yeah.
That's
DNF'd it at
gotta
one
be
quarter
it.
or
Because if
something.
she said it was so boring, you can't figure out the plot if you don't read the book.
Mhm.
Also, it was like what 250 pages. Like, I'm
Yes.
sorry. Like, she probably had to read like 20 pages and been like, no, not enough plot.
right. Like you're just getting to know the characters for the first time and you're like, nope.
No.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't like their name.
Yeah. This one says, I loathed this book from start to finish. The characters are so indistinct that they could swap places and even they wouldn't notice. Insane. Just gonna cut
I
him.
was gonna say
Wild.
Yeah.
Plot twists, not even a slight bend. The whole thing reads like someone hit copy paste for 300 pages. If monotony had a literary form, this would be its masterpiece. I'm genuinely envious of anyone who hasn't read it.
Whoa, that is such a.
It feels like personal almost.
I was gonna say
Yeah. Like
that
this is.
I want to know what it's a copy and paste of because
Yeah.
I've never read a book like this.
Literally never. No.
Yeah, no. And also, like, the characters, there's no distinction. I'm sorry, but when we spent time with Sky and Sky's mom, I sobbed, like, all throughout those chapters. Like, there was distinct differences.
yeah.
Like,
If you flip to a random page and read it, I bet I could tell you which POV you're reading
Yeah.
from. Like they have very different
Yeah.
voices. They have very different journeys that they're going on.
That was
Oh,
even one of the questions that we asked Noelle. Like, which
Yeah.
one was your favorite POV to write from? Because they were so distinct.
They were.
Yeah.
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 And I don't know, that's wild.
Yeah,
Hit
this
copy
is-
paste for 300 pages. How?
Yeah.
Copy
Also,
paste
the plot, like,
I want to read that book too then.
yeah.
Because I love this one.
I'm genuinely envious of any. I feel like this is just somebody who, like, is an enemy of Noelle's or something. Like
Yeah,
they're,
yeah.
They're like, what is the most brutal review that doesn't actually make
Personal.
sense? But yeah, make it personal, make it hurt.
I know.
It's wild.
I literally just had to double check the page count because I was like, I swear this book was not 300 pages long. And it's not. It's 250. So, like, they're just exaggerating to the. TikTok found promises an intriguing thriller, but disappoints with execution. It lacks the depth and suspense of a typical thriller, feeling more like a children's story akin to Little Red Riding Hood. Suitable for young readers, it may underwhelm those seeking a gripping thriller experience. I mean, okay, that is a little fair if you're looking for like a true like horror thriller.
Mhm.
Like then maybe read Nowhere, but I feel like this book
It is thrilling
It
at the
is
end. Like
thrilling,
I was
though.
like, yeah.
like I don't know.
I think I disagree with just like most of that.
Yeah. I think we have to say hard no on that.
Yeah. Also like Little Red Riding Hood, I don't see that.
I just feel like this person didn't know what they were reading. That to me sounds like the other review that was like, this isn't a horror book or this isn't a thriller
Yeah.
book. Like, I think that they were just looking for something else.
That's
fair.
what I think too, but I also think it was
I thought
Yeah.
I was very pleasantly surprised with what I got
Right.
though. Like,
But yeah.
I loved it, but I can see
Yeah.
where if you were not looking for that, I still would call it a thriller. I
And
don't
yeah.
think that
Yeah.
it's not a thriller.
Yeah.
But I think that the people that wrote those reviews were actually looking for more of like a murder horror book.
Yeah.
I think they were looking for a lot more.
To say it's for like young readers though instead, I feel like they must not.
I would
have
really
grasped-
prefer if younger readers did not read about having your drink spiked and stuff
Fair.
like that. I mean, they
And it's
should
like,
know.
I was
but
gonna say
I
like-
think that discredits a lot of like the emotional depth to the book too. Like I feel like they
Yes.
just might not have had the like either bandwidth or
They're
desire
just-
to like read into the book and like what it really like truly
Yeah.
meant because the book is beautiful. Like
Yes.
hearing the stories and even just like Maggie talked in the live a bit about this, but like she wrote kind of her interpretation of the afterlife that she would have wanted
Mhm.
and seeing those like interactions between loved ones, not only that these characters were missing, but also in the end, not really spoilers, it's not really relevant to the plot, but people that you hadn't even necessarily met, but being able to get to know like loved ones in that way, like that's so cool. And I don't understand how that's young
Yeah.
readers.
yeah, it
It's like a thriller
Hard
with
pass
more.
on that
Yeah.
review.
yeah, I feel like they were just looking for like murder porn and didn't
Yeah.
get it.
They were looking
Honestly.
for Karen Slaughter. I don't know if you
Yeah.
guys have read Karen Slaughter, but
Yeah.
that's what they were after, and they picked up this beautiful book instead.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is not the same, but
No.
I mean, it's not a 1-star book.
No. To each their own, but maybe just be like, hey, I picked up the wrong book, and just like,
Yeah,
not
that seems
write
like a
this-
you problem, not
Yeah.
the book's problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we'll do one more.
Okay.
This book has gotten some good praise, so I was disappointed that I did not enjoy it. I didn't even want to spend much time talking about this book because I didn't like anything. The premise sounded interesting, but this book felt like a burger with no meat. It's all fluff, but no substance. I, again, disagree entirely.
I almost think that like a classic thriller has a lot less substance.
Yeah.
You're just like, this person murdered this person. Moving on to the like, I don't. Like,
Who
this
does
is,
like this guy? Okay.
Yeah.
This was so much more than that. You got all of that.
This is like a
Plus
triple
more.
burger patty.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I
This
totally
was-
agree. They were just looking for,
Yeah.
again, murder
Yeah.
porn is all I have to
Yeah.
say.
This burger had the works. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I'm sensing a common theme though. I feel like a lot of people who didn't love this book just went in wanting just like
Yeah.
a gory thriller horror, like plot twist left and right, which is it isn't this, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like if you read, we go into books blind, but if you read the premise, you could have just been like, that's not the book I wanted to pick up, right?
I did read the back, but the back is honestly, it's basically like going in blind.
Mhm.
All it says is what Paige said earlier. On a date that isn't going well, do you feel unsafe or just a little uneasy? Ask for Andrea at the bar and we'll make sure you get home safe.
Yeah, that's the ARC version. The normal edition has like a full synopsis.
Oh,
And I
my bad.
was going, no, that's okay. That's all I had
I
read.
loved that that was on the arc, though, because I was like,
Yes.
perfect. I can't even ruin it. for
Right.
myself.
Yeah.
That's all I had read until a week before. I was just like flipping through Instagram stories. And before even looking down for what the book was, it was just like them putting up some book recommendations for spooky season. And I read the top of it and it was like, 3 women who have been murdered by the same man, their ghosts haunt. And I was like, whoa. And then I looked down and it was Ask for Andrea. And I was like, damn it. Like, I wanted to go in blind. But that's like, it's really not a spoiler. You know that
No.
like, page 1. But
You're
Yeah.
going to be there super quick.
Mhm.
I will say, when I was like first flipping through the chapters and stuff, like, because, you know, you get to the first 3 chapters and you've got 3 different names. I thought it was going to be every single chapter was going to be a new
Ooh,
victim.
that'd be crazy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like start to finish.
Like start to finish. I thought that was going to be
Whoa.
like how it was all going to go down. And I was like, dang, we're just going to get
Yeah.
murder after murder after murder.
That's what those other people were looking for.
Yeah.
I was like not ready for this. And I think that I literally have a tab in my book where I was like, oh my gosh, there's going to be so many because the chapters were so short.
Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah, I like the back of this book. I didn't read the like meat of it, but the tiny like pitch on top and bottom, I feel like is a good selling that, unlike a lot of thriller books, it doesn't really spoil anything. It says, in a hauntingly unique and compulsively readable psychological thriller, 3 women murdered by the same man unite in the afterlife to find comfort, solidarity, and justice that transcends death. A devastating tale of female rage and righteous vengeance. Ask for Andrea will leave readers gutted and asking for more. I feel like that's like a little teaser, but it doesn't give away like absolutely anything, which like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the better teasers I've seen.
yeah. The like
Yeah.
meat of it goes into the 3
Yeah.
women.
And if
it's
you
still
could
not
read
much.
that sentence, you could decide if you wanted to pick up the book or not.
Right.
And then not write those 1-star
Yeah.
reviews.
Yeah. Right.
That tells
funny.
you right there that that's not what it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, we do need to take a minute for the special edition. So this is the finished copy. It's like shimmery with the lettering, and then the edges are gorgeous. They're like ombre around as if it's like the sky up here, which is really cool. And then the flat edge says, "Dead women don't forget." Yeah.
Yeah.
Oop. But yeah, super, super pretty.
I might have to get that one.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any first thoughts on the cover for what we were going to get or any predictions?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I kind of thought, because I like just read the little back and then saw the shoe here, I was thinking that like this was going to be a story of somebody who like didn't use who used the like asking services and like something bad happened with that.
Oh.
And I was like, ooh, what if this is like, I'm getting sketchy vibes and so I do the thing that makes me feel safe and then that ends up being
Ooh.
wrong. But that's not what we got. And I'm glad that that's not what we got because I like what we got so much better.
Yeah. Yeah, before I like saw the week before that, not really spoiler, but learned about it being about the 3 women and their ghosts.
Yeah.
Just reading the back with like the Ask for Andrea and we'll help you. I thought it was going to be like centered around that bar. Like I
Ooh,
thought
yeah.
that was going to be like the main focal point. I don't know why, because that doesn't really fit with the cover. But yeah, I didn't have any specific ideas for the cover other than just obviously some woman is going to go missing. The shoe was going to be what makes her be discovered, which was cool in the book.
Yeah.
I had a lot of the same initial thoughts that you did, where it was going to be like about the just something going wrong at the bar and being more centered around the bar, especially because they had also sent us those super cute coasters. So I thought that it was going to be centered around Gracie's.
I have a question for you guys before we go into any spoilies.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this book definitely centers around ghosts. Have you guys, either of you, had any experience in your life that you think could have been ghosty?
Ooh.
What a good question.
Yeah, I love this question. I'll give you mine because it's like so not real. Okay. When I was like really little, I've always had a lot of anxiety, but I think like reflecting on how I felt in this moment, I might have just been having like a low key panic attack. I was in my parents' bed because I was scared at night, and I was so afraid. And then this little like ghostly version of myself was like above me, and it was dressed as like a clown.
No.
And it was like twirling, doing somersaults, and it like winked at me. And I took that to mean as like a child that like everything's gonna be okay. But like I think genuinely, I think I was just like having the craziest panic attack in the world, and my brain was just like, let's just make this.
Hallucinate.
Yeah, it was just like, let's just like unplug. So
That sounds horrifying. No.
yeah. Well, I mean, looking back on it, I think, like I said, I think it's just like a really bad panic attack. But I also think that in the moment, my brain like needed it because I felt comforted by it. But it was also kind of creepy that it was me, because I was like, am I dead right now? I started having like weird existential things after that for a while, where I was like, am I dead? So,
You thought you saw your own ghost. That's
yeah.
horrible.
No, or I thought like maybe I had like a twin that like that, because you know, like kids like, I don't know.
Yeah.
The simplest explanation is never the truth, right? You gotta go like the craziest, like, this is what I saw. But yeah, that's my ghost. It's not really a ghost, it's just a panic attack.
I don't think that I've ever had what I thought was like an encounter with a ghost like here. But I think that I have thought that I've like encountered a ghost in my dreams before, where I don't know what it was, but I had a dream. My cookie grandpa, who was there, who I don't normally dream about. We call him Cookie Grandpa because he would always bring cookies. But he was in my dream, and he showed up out of nowhere in the dream, where like it didn't make sense. And he was like, I have to talk to you. And I was like, ooh, okay. And I remember like waking up and feeling like very like that was a very visceral like experience and everything. But he had, I don't know, I don't even want to say it almost, but like he was basically like spend time with your other grandparents and stuff like that. And it seemed like he was trying to warn me that somebody was going to pass away or something. It was really weird. I can't remember the exact dream.
Yeah.
Which sucks because I don't remember it.
Yeah.
But I remember waking up and thinking that I had a family member that was going to pass and that he was trying to warn me to spend time with everybody.
Yeah. I remember when that happened. I remember you telling me about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was weird.
That was scary. I was like, oh, I should call my grandparents.
Yeah. I think he was telling me about my other grandparents, but I don't know for sure. Luckily, they're both still here.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I was convinced that was his ghost visiting me.
So much.
Somebody else go.
That's so much sweeter than mine. So mine is like obviously not going to be a ghost, but I am still seeking an explanation for it, and it's actually from this week.
Oh.
So this week, it was like a couple of nights ago. Middle of the night, it's like 3 a.m. And we've been talking about weird dreams. I've been having weird dreams all week. So I'm a light sleeper, but I didn't wake up to this because in my head, this was happening in my dreams.
Yeah.
But there was this weird like beeping happening. It had been going on for a while because in my dreams, there's been this weird beeping, but I was in like this haunted horror house in my dreams. So in my head, it's just like all part of the,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. And my husband is a very heavy sleeper, so he does not wake up easily, but it went on for long enough that he actually woke up for it. And he woke up, he woke me up, and we were like, whoa, what is that? And my first thought was like, it's going to be the CO2 alert or whatever that thing is. Like some sort of monitor. I was like, you got to go check. Like, that's so weird. He goes out into the hallway, and the beeping is, we have a walking pad. The walking pad can be activated by a control or a like remote control that we lost in our last house like a year ago. Or it can be activated from your phone if you set up this Bluetooth thing. And to set up the Bluetooth, there's like 10 million steps. It's kind of complicated to set up. And the noise that was happening, not only was the treadmill running, But the noise was the treadmill going up and down in speed because it doesn't beep unless it's going up or down in speed. My phones were plugged in across the room. They're the only phones that are attached to this treadmill. And so I'm still like horrified by how, like, even if somebody was like next to our house, there's no way they can activate that without scanning a QR code on our treadmill and like signing up through our Wi-Fi and stuff. Like it's involved. Yeah. So I'm like still very creeped out about like, how was our treadmill just like.
I hope your phone was just updating or doing something.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
But what if it was?
But then why would it be like constantly for like half an hour going up and down in speed?
What I really
because that's what helps me sleep at night. That's why.
I mean, we've been sleeping with the bedroom door locked. Like I'm not comfortable. Do I think it's a ghost? Hopefully not.
I was gonna say, do you think the door is gonna stop your ghost?
The treadmill's unplugged now, guys.
Is it still doing it?
No, I unplugged it from the wall and it's not gonna be able to do anything for a while.
I've heard like because I like spooky stuff, okay? I've heard people like saying like their ghost tales of like, oh my god, my Find Elmo whatever that my kid had kept going off in the middle of the night. I took out the batteries, still kept going off. So that's why I was like, oh my god, is it still going on?
I would be not living in that home anymore. Okay. I've always said since we moved in though, our basement is so horrifying. It really is. You're just gonna make fun of me.
Listen, no,
it's an unfinished basement, which would be, creepy, whatever. Not only are the windows boarded up for no reason, the windows aren't cracked. They're just completely nailed, boarded up. But there are two.
Wait, are there actual windows?
There are windows
on the other side.
Yes, around the whole house. Every single one is boarded.
Somebody just boarded those.
Yes, like fully nailed in. You can't. Yes. So not only that, that's already weird, right?
Oh,
there's no natural light. There are 2 murder rooms in the basement.
Stop.
Like actual murder rooms. So they're in the very back. They're in the corners. They're painted this really creepy, dingy red. And they have not only like, I don't even know how to fully explain it. One of them has like kids handwriting and stuff on the wall. One of them has like a TV cord hookup. So that there was a TV down there at one point, which makes no sense. It's the creepiest little corner in an unfinished sealed basement. I am horrified of our basement.
What kind of locks are on your basement door?
There is no basement door. It's just from the kitchen, it goes downstairs. Yeah. So that's fun. That's fun for me.
Are there doors on these murder rooms?
No.
Okay.
They're just open.
Yep.
Super great. I'll bring pictures.
It was
next
really
time.
funny. It was honestly hilarious when we were looking at the houses and everything because the laundry room area is like kind of like right off the stairs. Like you can get.
I don't even look over there.
Though.
Yeah. I don't. I literally.
We were just like, oh, you just can't look over there.
Yeah.
And then it's okay.
Yep.
I was like, we just need to get a rug for this spot to make this part look normal. And then we pretend it doesn't happen. And then Abe had to agree to do all the laundry. And then they could get the house.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
And that's why when I go down to do laundry, because Abe, spoiler, did not do all the laundry. not at the speed that I wanted the laundry to be done.
What?
All right, I'm back with our second drink. So for this drink, I decided to do a Moscow Mule with a twist. So our main guy in this book, this is spoilers now, so leave if you haven't read, but he definitely has a habit of spiking girls' drinks at bars and sometimes killing them, sometimes not. Depends on his mood, really.
It really seems that way.
Yeah, because sometimes I'd be like, what are we doing here? And he'd just, do some things and leave them. But yeah, depended what he wanted to do. But some of them he did spike, and one of the drinks that was spiked was a Moscow Mule. So that's what we did, and we added some grenadine to give it a little like gory twist. So cheers, ladies.
Cheers.
There we go.
Oh, I love it.
I haven't had a mule in a long time.
Me either.
I love this.
It's really tasty.
Did
so
you
good.
need this?
Yeah.
You needed this.
I got really happy. Yeah, I'll talk about this a little bit just to make it easier for the next couple episodes.
Yeah.
I'm not really drinking too much. I'm doing kind of like a reintroduction thing with food right now. So I wish it was like fun, like being pregnant, but that's not the case for me. I'm doing a FODMAP diet. If anybody's done a FODMAP diet, they're the worst because you cut everything out, you introduce blah, blah, blah. I looked and I could have a shot per meal, and I ate one time today, so I can have my one drink.
Yay!
Yay! And this is just ginger beer and lime juice, so those should all be perfectly safe for me. Yay!
Yay.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
hopeful.
So anyway, not to change the mood, but like, it is exciting. I did enjoy that drink. It's tasty.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
We need to have ginger in the rotation.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just really refreshing. They used to be like a go-to for me for a while.
Yeah,
Like-
there was this specific ginger beer that I used to really like, and it was a cherry ginger beer. So that's
Ooh.
what made me think of the grenadine, and I can't remember what it was called, but it was good.
It sounds delicious.
That like frighteningly doesn't taste like there's alcohol in it, which we're 0 drinks in. So it's not that I'm just like so far gone, but that I actually just don't taste.
We're a full
alcohol.
Alka-Seltzer in. Okay.
Yeah.
Not even a full.
No, yeah, not even.
I
Yeah.
took 1 sip.
That's so funny.
For a full eighth
But we
of a
had to
serving.
spike a drink.
Yeah.
There was
we
no
had
way
to.
we couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. She just gave us the missing ingredient. We were like,
Yes.
duh,
Yeah.
Alka-Seltzer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I was gonna roofie
Thanks,
you guys,
Noelle.
but I'm so glad. No, I'm just kidding.
I thought of just bringing Tic Tacs and just like giving out a
Oh,
Tic Tac
Tic
to
Tac.
everybody.
Oh,
Because that's what he would use. He had a bottle of Tic Tacs and in the Tic Tac bottles he had.
Oh. I didn't
Yeah.
even think. Literally not on my radar.
It was on my radar, but then I was like, do they even sell? Like, I haven't seen a Tic Tac in a decade. Do they sell? Like, can I buy those somewhere?
Yeah, Brandon like has Tic Tacs. Like we could
Oh.
have done this. We still can.
You can do it for the next drink.
Yeah, we
yeah,
can.
Yeah, do it with the wine.
Okay.
Okay.
Watch him like be out of Tic Tacs. But I had a Tic Tac last week. For
Also,
sure.
I hope he's not because I haven't had a Tic Tac again in like a decade. That sounds like
Yeah.
Yeah, if my
So
phone
exciting.
wasn't a camera right now, I would call and be like, lay off the Tic Tacs.
Cool it for the
do
next
you,
hour.
do you want a
Yeah.
phone
Oh my gosh, is this okay? Yeah. That's
Bethany
text.
and her other phone.
or text?
Oh no, we can phone him.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Phone a friend.
We'll make it fun. Your notifications are horrific. I thought I was bad. Excuse me. I will expose you so hard right now. Just for everyone to understand. Bethany has 620
Oh my God.
unread text messages. Text messages. This is not her email. Text messages.
No, okay. This
218 missed calls and or voicemails. Hopefully those are some voicemails that you've saved.
Yes.
I'm going to give you
There's some
credit there.
voicemails, yeah.
Good, good,
Just
good.
The ones that aren't listened to are counted towards that.
Oh,
So I've never clicked on.
I'll stop there. But that's
You
just
don't wanna
because that's
touch the emails.
immediately on your screen. I'm not.
Yeah, the
I
emails
don't
you
need
just
to
don't
snoop
need
your
to-
phone.
That's too funny. Yeah, not good.
I just okay.
Whatever.
Rude.
Hopefully they'll be in his car.
That's funny. Well, that was a fun getting exposed by Paige, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's great.
Bethany, I will make you feel a little bit better.
Okay,
I
thank you.
on my phone screen, I have nothing on my phone screen. Like when you unlock my phone, it's literally just the time. And then I have to go like search into find apps. Like I don't have any apps.
Does that mean you do have a lot of notifications or don't?
It means I don't know because I don't look. There to stress me
Yeah.
out, to look any kind of way.
yeah,
I kind of love that
Yeah.
idea,
Yeah.
actually.
I would love that, but then I just actually would never address any of them because I just like I get overwhelmed by like notifications and I just like don't do anything with them, and that's why there are 1 million of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's fun thing. I'm chronically online. I'm always editing and posting shit, but texting somebody exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
I can't keep up. Like I can't just sit and text.
I have to be on the phone. I'm not a texter. If you're texting me, I'm a bad friend. Yeah. It's unfortunate.
Mhm.
I don't mean it. I really don't. But I hate my phone. I just
Yeah.
don't like being tied to my phone all day. I'd like to, live a life away from my phone.
Yeah.
And I don't, but like I'm just always on my phone, but I still don't like to like have to go. I don't know why that's just like daunting to me.
When we went up north this year, I like left my phone at the cottage the whole time because you don't have any service up there anyways.
Yeah.
And I feel like after I came back from there, I've been way better about just like leaving my phone.
Yeah.
I mean, better. Like it's also a problem, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I struggle because like I just don't even look at my screen time because my like working is always on one of my
Right.
phones.
Right.
So like
yeah.
there's no like accurate way to like actually judge
Yeah.
screen time, or if I'm just like rotting away and like doom scrolling because
Right.
my hours have to be so high to be able to actually like do my job. So
Yeah.
anyways, though.
But yeah, so this guy, back to Tic Tacs.
yeah.
Yeah, James has some problems with spiking girls' drinks, and
yes.
we got to spend some time with 3 of those ladies who met some unfortunate ends.
Yeah, and he kind of like did his predatory behavior on a dating app, which
Yes.
was like rough because you'd see the interactions where they're like worried they're going to get catfish, but then he's described as being a pretty attractive guy. So everyone's always pleasantly surprised. They're like, "Oh, like this is actually the guy I've been talking to. Like this isn't a catfish situation. I'm going to be okay."
Yeah.
But just like in the Ted Bundy situation, like that doesn't mean it's okay. And I feel like a lot of the girls let their guards down like way too quick. And yeah, it was tough to read through some of those chapters where the drinks are getting spiked and you're just like, please don't drink that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You felt almost as helpless as Brisha.
Yes. Yeah. So Brisha was our first person that we follow. Like she's 2 years back in our timeline, and she immediately is trying to impact his life. She is, of course, mad at him. She wants to get revenge, and she also wants to make sure that nobody else has the same fate as her. And so one of the scenes we see is her going to the bar with him, and she's trying to communicate and trying so hard. And something that was unique about the ghosts in this book is that they can't like, she wouldn't be able to like move a glass, but if she got like a lot of emotion, she might be able to like make the light flicker above them or something like that. But that wasn't getting noticed. And so she felt really helpless in those moments because she wasn't able to influence any change.
Right.
Yeah. She tried her best though, and she would get up into the date's ears and be like, don't do this, don't do that. And it did seem like she was having some kind of influence over them. They didn't know why. Maybe they weren't going to go home with this guy or what was going to go wrong. But I do think that she saved some of the girls for sure.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think she did too. When she meets up with Megan and Sky, they're kind of like, does that work? And she's like, well, only if they're up for like the influence kind of thing, which was a unique. I loved like later on, I'm kind of skipping way ahead, but it seems like each of the girls taught another one something that they learned in their ghostly journey. And I just love that we got that moment. And seeing Brisha try so hard on those dates and like fail, and then later Sky tells her like, oh, have you tried when they're asleep? I made my mom scream. And then that works like that. It was just such a cool, like, I don't know, I just love the girlhood of the ghosts.
Yeah. They all did learn from each other. That's I hadn't really thought about that aspect, but they 100% did all bring something different to the table when they were at the point of getting together.
Yeah. Should we start off with Brisha and like kind of just go into her whole experience?
Yeah,
And then,
sure. Yeah.
Okay. So Brisha is like influencing electronics, and it seemed like each of the girls, again, completely disagreeing with these reviews, saying that there was like no dynamics to these characters or whatever, but they were all so different. And Brisha's immediate reaction to being killed is she decides to haunt him.
Yes.
Which is so cool. I think she might have been my favorite POV to read from.
Yeah.
Brisha was unique because unlike some of his other people that he killed, he actually dated her.
It was very poetic almost to see that he was basically haunting her in her life. And that was where, you know, she broke up with him, and then he was harassing her and doing all
so
of that.
clingy.
So clingy. And then she seems like she finally gets away. And then he, like you said, comes up like a year later and he's like, time to die. It was so just perfect that she was the one that decided to haunt him because he had done the same thing to her when she was alive.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that, but that is such a good perspective because that is really what happened.
It is, yeah.
It'd be infuriating. Like, it wasn't like this was just some random guy that killed her. She's just like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, and it seemed like they only dated for like a week too, and then he was just like he was love bombing, and she was like, I'm all set. I don't know. That was, I was scratching my head at that for the longest time because I was like, okay, you've been broken up for a year. You also have a wife and kids, like separate from this relationship. So this relationship isn't your whole world, but you were acting like that in the moment when the breakup happened. And now a year later, you're just going to like kill this woman? Like, why?
Yeah.
What happened?
I feel like it's control. Like he wanted to be in control of the situation because she broke up with him.
Do we think, or do we know, was Brisha his first victim?
That's a good question.
I don't think we know for sure.
No.
I was scratching my head on that the whole way through. I couldn't decide. I think maybe she might have been, because I can't imagine that we wouldn't get more POVs from other victims.
I wonder if it was like maybe one of the first times that he had experienced rejection. But at the same time, I'm like, a man that cheats on his wife and he's like on a dating app is on a dating app looking.
Right.
So it makes me think that it wasn't the first time. Yeah. But I don't know if it was maybe like he thought she was different and then it didn't go the way he wanted, and that was what inspired the killing.
I think it's up for interpretation. It definitely wasn't clear whether he's done that before, but to me, like, he's old enough to have a wife and 2 kids, and within that span of those like 2 years, he's killing 3 people. I would personally guess that that wasn't his first, just because like that's quite the spree to have gone on, and to have waited till that point in your life. I feel like people who have that like mindset probably would have already at least been doing some sort of crime. Like I doubt he was like the perfect father and husband until
Yeah.
that point. But yeah, I think she left that up in the air for the reader to kind of interpret.
Yeah. I don't know. As a ghost, would you choose to like follow the killer? You know?
Oh,
What would you guys do? Like, who did you relate to most? Would you have acted like in this scenario?
oh, that's such a good question. I feel like my heart broke so much for Sky, but I just also feel like she was so young, and that experience is a little bit like I'm a little bit past that in my life where I don't have like parents waiting for me at home, you know. I feel like I'd probably almost be like Megan though, and just be like, I guess I gotta stay with myself. Like I don't know where I'd go.
Yeah, they all had 3 different journeys. Brisha immediately, as we said, haunted him.
Yeah.
Megan stuck with her body, hoping for someone to discover her because she got left just out in the woods.
Yeah.
And then Sky immediately was going back to her mom because she was
Yeah.
worried about her mom. So definitely 3 different journeys there.
Yeah. Which I just loved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give so much more like depth to the book.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
I love that we started off with the 1-star reviews because
Yeah.
I was immediately thinking about that. No.
Yeah. Like they're all the same. No. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They're very much not the same.
Yeah. No, they're not.
No, I like
And
it.
that's the whole point of these stories is like
Yes.
this is their stories.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gets me
Guys.
heated.
Yeah.
I like to think I'd be like Brisha, but I think I'd more realistically be like Megan because I just
Yeah.
like I wouldn't know what to do in that scenario. And when we talked to Noelle, she kind of explained it as like they don't have GPS, like they don't know
Yeah.
where to go, they don't have any like direction. So I think in that scenario where you're getting killed like out in the middle of nowhere, your options are either hop in the car with the person that just killed you, basically, or like hang out with your body. I'm probably gonna hang out with my body.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like to think that I would want to solve my murder, but I also think that I am very much like I'm obsessed with Brandon. I would have to go home. I want to be home. And
Yeah.
I would hope that by going home, I would find him trying to solve my murder. That's what I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like I don't know if I could go. Like I think that would just like break me to go see
Yeah.
like my husband and dog. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think I probably would do it because I wouldn't be able to keep away. But like I think that would just be like the worst thing ever to like see them and they can't see me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But my initial reaction would probably be like, do I stay with my body? Or what happens now? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think that I would immediately go somewhere. I think it'd be hard to be like Brisha just being like, I'm hopping in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that I could do that.
Yeah.
I couldn't
Yeah.
just like follow the killer. I
Yeah.
would have it. I mean, you'd be dead. You'd be stunned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That girl was just pissed.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Megan had that time where she was like, she thought she ran away and was alive. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like most people would have that disconnect and be like, wow,
Yeah.
that was weird.
Yeah.
But Brisha seemed to just be like, well, that like freaking
Yeah.
sucks. I'm dead now. I'm gonna hop in. But
Yeah.
Megan was like not in that same boat. And definitely took some more time to realize what was actually happening. I want to say for Brisha, I loved that. Like she was messing with him in like the only way she knew how, but she was pissing him off so much, and I loved it. Like her
Yes.
messing with his computer, and he kept like replacing it or trying to change to Wi-Fi or something, and it kept just having the same issues. Like he was freaking out about it, and I was like, "You go, girl!" Like
Yeah.
I know that's such a small, minuscule thing, but like his quality of life was struggling at that time
Yes.
because he was really annoyed, and that was how he was communicating with these other women. So I
Yeah.
loved those scenes. I was like cheering her on.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
I-
also really interesting to watch her interact with April.
Yes.
The kids.
Yes.
Because she, like, when she followed him, like, she stayed. And
Mhm.
she was there. I thought it was really interesting seeing Brisha, like, then choose to stay with the family. And then she starts
Yeah.
feeling, like, very connected to these kids and very protective over the family. I wonder if just, like, being in that environment is part of, like, what gave her that, like, extra oomph to start messing around with things because she was always highly emotional because she was putting herself in a very highly emotional
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, she did at some point, like from following him, and like that one review was like, "Oh, ghosts are useless." Like Risha herself started to feel useless after some extent of like following him and like witnessing what he would do with women, even if it wasn't murder, because he did have a couple of victims of other crimes before getting to Megan, and it seemed like at some point Risha accepted that like there's only so much that she can do and it's not enough to save those women. And then she started following April more and the children more. So that was a unique switch in her journey too.
Yeah. And at a certain point, she didn't want to see it anymore because when she realized she wasn't going to be able to change the fate of the women that she was trying to, like you saw her in her perspective have to just like turn away or walk away.
Definitely my favorite point of view to read She just kept everything going.
Yeah, I think she moved the plot along more too,
Yeah.
because the other characters, I loved reading about them too. But like Megan, for a good chunk of the book, is really trying to get somebody to flag down to find her body.
Right.
And that plot is interesting, but like I also wanted to get back to what James is doing and what like
Yeah.
other things are happening. And Skye, as we had said, was really focused on her family and trying to communicate with her mom. So
Yeah.
those were their own side plots, which were very interesting to read too. And
Yeah.
they had some cool connections to the afterlife. But the like meat of the story, I would say, was more with Brisha's POV.
Yeah. Okay, so we kind of hinted about the other characters. Let's get a little bit more into them. I believe the turning point for Brisha was actually Megan's murder
Yeah.
when she stopped following him. So like let's get a little bit more into Megan and her character.
So Megan's dead in the woods. She is immediately dealing with her murder by just staying with her body. She runs, like Bethany was talking about, like in the other direction and everything, has no idea what's going on. And she thought that she heard somebody calling after her, and it was Brisha. And Brisha actually had to then choose, do I go with her and like now we're going to be together? Or am I going to get back into the car with James and keep doing what I'm doing and my ghostly duties here? And she ended up going back with him. So Megan's left completely alone, has no idea what happened, is trying to just figure out what it means to be a ghost.
Yeah. Yeah, and her journey was different than the other girlies because she was definitely pretty early on getting more in touch with like what the afterlife was going to end up being. I can't remember which loved one came to her.
It was Grandma Rose, I think.
Yeah. And she was so excited because she was like, ooh, somebody I know. But she was really there to help her along for when she wanted to leave that realm and head into the afterlife, which she ended up deciding that she wasn't ready for at that time. And that's because of the journey she still had to go on. But it was a really cool look into the afterlife. And the way it was kind of described in this book was that all of your loved ones and even loved ones that you might not have like gotten to know well on Earth all have their memories that you can go and like delve into and like basically be with everybody that you've cared about and everybody you'd want to meet. And I loved that. Like, that's such a cool idea for an afterlife. And like, I would love if that was the case.
Yeah. Who do you guys think, like, with that like beautiful interpretation of the afterlife, who do you think would be waiting for you to like show you their memories?
I think mine would probably be my grandma. She passed like a while ago, and I feel like she would just be like the perfect person to explain and kind of comfort me and like make me feel at ease because that'd be a very stressful scenario. And she was like such a calming person, so I feel like she would be like the perfect person.
Mine would definitely be my grandma as well. Yeah, she passed when I was in high school, and high school's hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think about like our last moments together. She had cancer, and I really just think she's waiting for me on the other side to be like, I feel so much better now.
Yes.
Like, let's do things. And she was like another parent to me. So I definitely think she's waiting for me.
That's what I think too. And mine passed from Alzheimer's, so I like lost her before she passed. And so like thinking of being able to see her and communicate with her and her be like herself again is like very comforting.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky that I am kind of like, I guess a little bit more like Skye, where I don't really know because I haven't lost a ton of people that I was really, really, really close to. My cookie grandpa, maybe I could see my birdie grandpa because he used to show me the birds. Cookie grandpa, birdie grandpa. You can tell that I gave them their names. I was very little. And my grandma Carol, I could see them all. Like there some kind of just like memory from being like very, very little, but I didn't have a ton of memories with any of them because they all passed when I was very young.
Yeah.
So my first thought was my dog. My childhood dog, Sahara. I was like, she'd be waiting. She'd come running up to me.
Oh, yes. Oh, I forgot about pets.
I know, but then I was like, I can't answer. I can't have that because she couldn't talk to me. Or maybe she could talk to me. Who knows?
We should be like, here's all the favorite scratching spots I had.
Yeah. We're actually just going to stay here for a while we catch up.
Yeah. Remember when we used to play fetch? I like that.
Stop.
Yeah. So, no, that would be the best part of like
cool.
the being able to replay your memories, be able to play with your dog again.
Yeah.
I would
or
sob
see your kids
forever.
again, or whatever the things. Like that was the other part of it was like you got to replay your memories and
in more detail than you remember today. Too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like how it actually happened.
Which would be so cool.
Yeah.
But also made you think so much about like how are you spending your time and how many of those memories is going to be just like watching videos on your phone.
Ooh, that's
you have to say
fair.
that?
I kind of hate that though.
Yeah. That's the first thing that I thought of when I was reading that. I was like, oh, what memories would I reflect on most or want to go back to? And that's a question that I do have for you guys.
I feel like mine would have to just be like childhood memories, because I feel like as a kid, like especially our age, we didn't have screens or like I mean, we had TV and everything, but we didn't have like phones or iPads that we were just rotting away on. So like I spent so much time just like not on devices, and I feel like there's just so many memories there that were really fun and are nostalgic for me to look back on. I do agree, as an adult, when I'm thinking back, like there are definitely some cool moments. Like I would love to relive like my wedding day, or like the day we got engaged, or like the day we met, or, you know, just certain things like that. But there is a lot of days where I'm just like working and then watching TV and then it's bed. Like there are definitely days like that. So I could see not wanting to revisit those memories.
Yeah, that's such a good question. I feel like after reading this book, that also hit me a little too, where I've been noticing even when I take Bluey for a walk, I'm like looking at the trees closer. And I'm like, this tree is pretty. I'm going to enjoy this moment with this tree. You know?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I felt this way for a while, but I feel like I'm in a point in my life where there's just so much noise and I'm really only here for a short time. Some of my best memories that I can think of might be childhood memories too. We had a little garden with raspberries and blackberries, and I used to sit out there and like eat them off the vine while my mom was gardening. Like that would probably be like, I'd love to do that again.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm glad that, like, and this is just where I love that we got this from a thriller.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
No emotional
dimension.
depth. Yeah.
No plot.
There's no depth to this book.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I completely agree with you on a lot of the things that you're talking about. I've been reflecting on a lot of that as well. I don't know if it's a quarter life crisis or what it is, or if everybody like. I think it's real, and I don't know if anybody else deals with that, but that I feel you.
Yeah,
and the noise is so loud, and it just makes me think so much more about, like, we're also getting into a point in our lives where we're all talking about what it's going to be like in the semi-near future when we all have kids, and like we're going to be responsible for those childhood memories and how all of that plays out for them too. Yeah. So I don't know. It just makes you think so much about how you spend your time and what's worth it and what's not. So I wish that people spent more time thinking about those things, because I feel like that's how you make a difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all childhood. Yes.
Yeah, no stress.
Yeah.
But I also think it'd be interesting to revisit, like, I don't know if you guys do this, but I definitely romanticize like my past. So like thinking back to even like college, I'm like, those were such fun and amazing years. But if I like actually think about like the day to day, like I was stressed, broke, having like a tough time in like all aspects of life. Like, was that actually like great years, or am I just like, ooh, fun college time? I don't know. Like,
I think that's just growth. I think it's fun to grow. Yeah, I really do. It's like to go, like you look back on it, you're like, wow, that was hard, but wow, look at what I did.
It would be fun to like it's like to go do a day of that, and probably just realize how much more content I am in like this current phase, because I think I do that where I'm like, oh, I miss like this era or like this time, and it's like, do I really? Because I'm happy right now, like, and I feel like that's like an important thing to like keep in mind, is like, I don't know, I think that just might be a me thing where I'm always like thinking about like the past. But
yeah, see, I do that too though, and to your point with like childhood is so magical. Like I said, I've been reflecting a lot about how I spend my time, and I have been trying to be like more like, well, how can I add like whimsy into like this like mundane, like how can I make this fun now? And I do think that, you know, I think just because we're adults doesn't mean that we're not like childlike still. I was really thinking about this the other day, and I'm sorry to get too deep on this, but it's like at some point I feel like somebody told me like, just stop getting in your head about things so much, or like, it's like almost somebody said to me like, stop having fun with this, it's like boring. And then I would just accepted like, okay, life's boring, and now I'm like,
doesn't have to be.
Why do I just like think like doing the dishes is boring? Like when I was a kid, I used to like doing the dishes. Which is weird, right? But also like, doing the dishes is nice. I like doing the dishes.
Put on some music or an audiobook or something. It could be a little like you time.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I don't know. That's just, I went on a huge tangent.
No,
there.
I love it.
That was
the like childhood whimsy aspect made me think of yesterday. I was filming an ad for a Christmas book, and I was like,
that was,
you
so
know, what will
cute,
make me happy.
Oh, that was so cute.
I haven't seen it yet.
I watched it and I was like, oh my God, do I want to pull out my Christmas decoration?
No, literally. I was like, wait, I could. And I submitted 2 drafts. I was like, here's the boring one, or here's this one. And the boring one's me sitting with the book talking about it and like, here, this is a great book. And the fun one, it took so many hours flowers, but I like decorated for Christmas and I went out and got like the other Christmas edition of the book. And it was so much fun. And I was like, I almost didn't do it because I was like, it is too early. I normally do decorate after Halloween. So it's not that much early for me. But I was like, why are there rules? Like, why can't my Christmas tree be up right now? Who cares?
No,
like,
I love that. Like,
So I feel like we need to do more of that, of just like, there doesn't have to be a structure and rules to like being an adult, and it doesn't have to be boring. You can do fun things and like create fun moments for yourself. This book had no depth, guys.
I was gonna say how beautiful, and like there is like nothing to it.
No, it's just 300 pages of copy paste. So. I missed the last 50 pages on my edition, but
I think that the whole memory thing was probably like my favorite ghosty addition to all of it. I mean, it was like the basic, it was just like her premise of the afterlife, I guess, and how the transition works. But that was easily, I think, my favorite part in the book, even though I was reading a thriller. I needed it. It just gave you something to think about.
And she talked about it as it was like what she would like for the afterlife to be like. Because she said she used to be pretty religious and then has kind of created her own journey now. But like is thinking about that, because she said readers who are reading a ghosty book are probably going to want something to do with like what's happening. So she tried to imagine something meaningful, but that like made sense for the characters. And I thought it was really well done.
I thought it was beautiful. I had that in my notes where I was like, I love this afterlife. Like, I want that to be the answer.
So much credit. That was such a beautiful thought.
I
I love that. Like her mind could even just come up with it. I don't know. It's like she must just be and she was lovely to talk to. So I don't know.
Trust her with I would trust her with crafting the afterlife. Like, let's just leave that to her.
I'm like, I just love that.
I think she'd do a great job.
No, absolutely.
Well, that was a very long side tangent on Megan, but she does end up, we'll talk about her joining the girlies later, but she spends her time, kind of learning about what's next, deciding if she wants to go there, and then really just trying to get someone to notice her, because she's kind of off in the wilderness and animals are like, unfortunately, picking at her. And there was, I think, a crow.
She had like a crow bestie.
I know. And the crow, it was like so kind, and it moved one of her shoes so that it was like noticeable in the road. And that's what ended up getting somebody to pull over and be like, and I think they took a picture. They sent it somewhere but drove away, and she's like, well, that's it. Like nobody's ever gonna come now. So that was kind of her journey, was like afterlife, and then like trying desperately to get someone to notice her with her little animal friends. And that was cool too. The animals like did see the ghosts, which I thought was fun.
Yeah, that did make me feel a little bit more spooky whenever I catch Bluey like staring. I'm like,
I had that in my notes to talk to you guys
my goodness,
about.
I didn't think about that.
You didn't?
No.
I was staring at my pets.
The whole time.
Onyx will sometimes just like growl at a corner.
No, that's exactly what I thought
house.
Of. In my haunted.
Yes.
I hate that.
Yeah,
it did all the time.
It made me think so hard.
You know how long cats do it for? They really stare.
They like lock in.
Oh no,
it's way worse.
Noelle,
two of them here. Yeah, such beautiful thoughts and such creepy thoughts.
See, this was a thriller, guys.
You'll never look at your dog the same. But yeah, we got to see, once Megan did kind of like get away from her body, like that was her initial like, I'm gonna lock in, I need to be found. And she ended up following the detective that found her.
Yeah, the detective who found her body. Yeah. Which was beautiful too, because Megan was saying, like, I don't know if anybody even knows I'm missing. Like, I don't know if anybody knows I'm gone. And then she heard the detective be like, Megan, where are you? Or are you here, Megan? Or something. And I was like, she is here. Oh my God.
And someone was looking for her.
Yeah.
Yes. So good. Yeah. So good. And the detective, she was a boss.
What a badass. No, I had so many notes on her.
Yes. She actually became part of Sky's story as well, if we want to start talking about Sky. Because Sky is kind of the one that brought everything together at the end. Her murder seals the deal. He's done after that.
Yeah, because he was so brazen with her. Like, that was also, I was thinking, like, a little bit, like, I don't know. I like spooky stuff. Serial killers like escalate, but then they like go too far sometimes.
They get too confident.
And this was definitely his like cocky like whatever, because he was way too close to home for that.
Yeah, and they were talking about that in the book too, because like the whole reason he ended up in that area was after Megan's murder.
Yeah.
Somebody calls in and it's like, hey, this weird blurry footage that you have looks like my friend's husband, and he gives me the creeps.
Yeah.
And that was enough to have him relocate his entire family to a different state. Mm-hmm. And he gets a lawyer and he's like, you're harassing me and whatever. And then he starts up in this new town. That's when Brescia decides to start following April, is after Megan's death too. So she is starting to think it's like the last one that happened, because now they've moved to a different place. He's not on match strike anymore. She's like, oh, okay, cool. We moved. We're doing a new life now. And lo and behold, he's like murdering the girl at the coffee shop.
Right. The daily grind.
Yes. The daily grind.
Yeah. I also thought it was funny how his name was like Hot Chocolate Guy at the daily grind, because like he would come in, kind of flirt with Sky a little, which also kind of gave me the creeps, because she's 18. She's like just graduating high school. She's about to start. Literally, she was going to leave for college like the next day, and he just like stole that away from her like right before, which made my blood boil.
And it seems so senseless. Like he just, unless there's something left out, there was no reason or motive other than just to kill someone.
Yeah. He like asked her if she wanted a ride or something, and then just decided to do that, which also broke my heart a little, because she was like, she had a crush on him, and she was kind of like excited, never had a boyfriend, never even kissed anybody, and now this like cute guy is asking her for if she wants a ride, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna try something new because I'm about to go to college and it's gonna be all new experiences. And then just how heartbreaking. Like I'm so mad at him for so many reasons, but
Aren't we all?
yeah.
Yeah, Sky pissed me off.
Yeah. And also Sky's chapters were so heartbreaking too, because after she realized she was dead, she went home to her mom and just followed her mom and was like watching her mom grieve, freaked the crap out of her mom when she whispered.
Yes.
I can't remember what she whispered.
Yeah, she was trying to comfort her, but it did not work.
No.
It like freaked her out, which I mean, fair enough. I think I would also be like very freaked out.
Yeah.
And then she watched her dad come home. Well, home. Her parents were separated, and he flew into the state and worked with his mom to like find out what happened to her. And that was also kind of cool to watch, because the parents were really the ones like solving her murder.
Yeah,
The township or police station, whatever you want to say, like they
trash.
They did not care.
Which is such a like rough reality though, because they're like, she's 18. Like that's not really like a missing person. She probably ran away. And I feel like you see that happen on like the news or in like a true crime, like investigation discovery kind of show, where it's like, yeah, it wasn't really looked into for this many days because they're an adult. And it's like, that sucks, because like the family members knew her and they're like, there's actually no way that she would have, like, she wasn't the type of person to run away.
Right.
And that always kills me, because it's like, I feel like you have to take into account the person. Like if this is somebody who has a history of running away or has like some sort of instability that they just like are a flight risk maybe, but this was somebody who was like so consistent. She was like kind of sheltered, hadn't experienced a lot. She goes to her coffee shop and she's going to go to college soon. Like there's no way she would have just run away. So that's always frustrating, but I think it's pretty accurate to what can unfortunately happen.
You don't go do paperwork for no reason.
Literally.
Yeah.
And then even if they have done it before, like that's still like, that's to me, that's the point of the police. Like what, that's what our tax dollars are for. Like I'm okay if it just ends up being like, they just ran away from home and they've been gone a day. That's fine. I'd still rather someone go investigate and make sure they're okay, rather than just like,
then let's figure out why they're doing that and let's get them some help, and then maybe it won't happen again.
Yeah. It just seems like that resource isn't, and at least just the way that I see it portrayed in like true crime, it's like not how that is. And it is really infuriating. So it's like,
and I get why it's done the way that it is to a certain degree, because you also have people that ruin it for everyone. And they call in all the time and they waste resources. And then they're like, well, now we have to do this way because everyone ruined it for everyone.
Yeah. I feel like it could just be like, if they can keep records of that, though. If you're like a first time caller and you've never reported somebody missing before, like that should be an immediate police investigation. Like, not, I guess not a full investigation, but like there should be somebody looking into that and trying to figure out what's happening. Yeah. As opposed to like, oh, it's only been a day and they're 20. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just sad.
There just needs to be some kind of adjustment to the rules.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say like the 24-hour thing isn't actually a real rule.
There's no rule, but like that happens where police are just like, they're an adult, they're probably just like off doing their own thing.
No, that does definitely happen.
There's no like time rule necessarily, but it's just like a sad reality of police in this country.
No, it is a sad reality. And to that point, I'm just going to plug Crime Junkie recommends you should have a If I Go Missing folder, because it doesn't matter like where you live or how the police are great in your area. Like ultimately the people who are going to care about you the most and try and get you home the most are the people that know you and care about you, right? And so if you have resources for them to try and track your phone or to get into some of your social media with your passwords, stuff like that, that can help jump things and get things started. especially if you're, on a dating app meeting somebody that you've never met before. The logins to that kind of stuff can like really help accelerate things, because what'll happen legally is like there's subpoenas and warrants that need to get issued to get phone records and this and that. And if your loved ones can come to the table with like that stuff already like in their hand and saying like, you don't need a warrant, let's just look, just look, let's just do the work. Then I mean, it's the squeaky wheels that get the oil, right? So you gotta really advocate for your people if something like that happens. Yeah. Anyway, that's just my 2 seconds.
That's so smart. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it's not like a real rule, but I hate that that's the way that it seems like they portray everything.
Yeah. I think it's just lazy people. Like there's lazy people in every industry, in every job, right?
Yeah. I was just say, I know in their mind, it's like they've probably had so many of those same missing persons that like they're missing and then they show up 2 hours later. So in their mind, they're probably burnt out from like having this happen over, and they're like, no, this has never actually been like a real crime. Like you're going to be fine. But like you can't approach your job as if it's just always going to be like, especially as a police officer.
Makes an ass of
you and me.
Right. Yeah.
And sometimes that ends up with somebody being dead if you're a police officer.
Yeah. And then now you're going to have to live with that. And I would hope that would maybe be a wake up call for those people, but you never know.
Broken systems. Gotta love it.
America.
Feeling patriotic.
Yeah.
Okay. So now that we got kind of like some thoughts and feelings about the ghost girlies, that's what I'm going to call them, the ghost girlies. We're going to hop over to our next drink before we get into April and just kind of like our April and his family and our ending thoughts.
So we're back with our last drink for Ask for Andrea. I decided to do Witch's Brew because I always have to have Witch's Brew around Halloween. We buy at least one bottle a year. So perfect time to try this one, because in the book, one of his, luckily didn't become one of his victims. One of the girls that he went out on a date with ordered red wine. So we did that. And then I threw a little Tic Tac in there to be funny.
Oh my God, I still see it.
Yeah, it's just sitting in the bottom there.
Yeah. That's funny. Wait, why does mine look like it's gone? Oh, there it is. Found it.
Well, I guess it was.
Bethany's just waiting for us to cheers her.
Oh, sorry.
Cheers.
I'm looking for my drugs. All right, cheers, ladies.
Poor Bethany was just left hanging. Now everything's all in chaos.
I like it much better than like a normal red.
Yeah.
Much sweeter.
Yeah. It's definitely still a sweet wine.
Okay, so our murderer, Jim, mole guy is what I was calling him. Because I uses his name, but not his name so many times. April is his wife, and then he also has his 2 daughters, Emma and Kimmy. And we don't really get much of their story until we kind of get to like that second act that I was talking about. So things kind of get a wild shift where he's like feeling the pressures on. He's getting phone calls from the detective in Megan's case, like, come on, guy, this is clearly you. He's starting to feel the heat a little bit because they impound his car, and they're looking for evidence of Sky in the car, and they don't find evidence of Sky, but what they did find was a fingerprint, which I was so positive with Megan right away. And lo and behold, it is Megan, but he doesn't know what they found, what they didn't find. They released the car back to him because, again, Sky's detectives were lazy. They were not as amazing as Megan's detective. And he's feeling this. He gets back home. He tells his wife and his girls, load this car up. We're heading to Marjorie's cabin, who is like this mysterious character that we like barely even know. It seems like it's kind of off the beaten path in the middle of nowhere. They're basically just kind of roughing it in this cabin for a little bit, and then we kind of see his trajectory kind of change from hunting to survival, and we watch him like devolve into what he will do for survival, and through that we obviously spend a lot of time with April and Kimmy and Emma. And I should say that the girls all reunite before that kind of comes to a head. Should we talk about?
Yeah, and that was a fun scene because we see Sky show up like at James' house, and her and Brisha don't actually like clock that each other are ghosts right away. Like they're just kind of going about the scene, and then they're like, wait a second. And one of them asks like, are you dead? Yeah. And then they are able to team up and actually start working together. But that was a fun moment of them like actually meeting for the first time.
I was really hoping that was going to like happen, but I didn't know how they were going to do it. So I was really excited with the way that all of that kind of came together. It felt like you're hoping, and then you're like, yes, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was going to go that way because I didn't see that it said anything about the girls working together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and before they went off, kind of off the grid to trying to escape, April, she had like a friend who like sort of reported James.
Yeah. I think what it was Megan's friend got screenshots of his match account.
Mm-hmm. And they were like kind of blurry. Like they weren't great purposefully.
Yeah, because he was like so manipulative and like knew what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the picture came from. And then Nancy was like, hey, I think that's him. And then he's already is in Idaho at this point. Or Utah. I'm not even kidding. When I was reading this book, I had to pull out a map so many times because I was like, we're like in the Midwest. This is like on the West Coast, at the coastline, but like closer to the coastline. And I was like, I don't know my geographic. Oh, I say the word. I can't even say the word. I don't know my history. I don't know my words. I don't know my geographic. I had no idea where anything. I had to like keep looking at the map.
I didn't look, but I thought that was like wild that every time he kills someone, he just uproots his whole family and is like, well, time to move, time to start
April
over.
And the kids seemed to want to stay where they were at before. And she was like, what do you mean? Like, we just got happy. And then he's like, no. And you could tell that she was kind of going through it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, what were your guys' initial thoughts on whether or not you thought that she knew?
I didn't think she knew because I thought at most she might have been thinking, man, this isn't the guy I thought I married, in that he is more controlling than I maybe had believed at first. He's maybe like meaner than I thought. I could see her having doubts of that because at some points in the story, the way that he is so cold and like, no, we're relocating. No, we're doing this now. Like, no, I'm calling the shots now. I could see her being a little bit like, oh, this is not what I thought. But I don't think she ever thought that he was necessarily a murderer or cheating on her.
Yeah, I agree. And I would think that she would probably more so think cheating rather than like, I don't think people jump to the conclusion that they're like spouses killing people.
Yeah.
Like if they're kind of doing, because he would leave for like long periods of time when he's going to the bar and going out on dates. Like I would assume in that instance, maybe he's cheating on me, but it's hard. Like if you put yourself in her shoes, unless I'm mistaken, I don't think we see her like working.
I think that she was a stay-at-home mom.
So she's reliant on him for everything. Yeah. And so that's just like a tough situation as like a parent because you're trying to, and even if she did have a job, it doesn't really change. Like you're trying to keep your family together for your kids. Even if you had suspicions that your husband is cheating, like I feel like she was probably hesitant to like blow that out of proportion because of the way he was controlling of her and the way that he would snap and stuff like that. That'd be scary. Like, yeah, I don't know.
No, I tend to agree with both of you. I didn't necessarily think that she knew. And each of the girls were kind of, I mean, it was a question they each asked themselves. Like, hey, what do I think of her? Do you think that she knew? How could she possibly be married to this monster? This and that. And it's like, well, because she has her own monster. I didn't think that she knew.
I think that's an unfortunate like reality that happens a lot where family members of serial killers or like a mass shooter, they are immediately like not necessarily blamed, but like, how could you not know? And it's like, that's so like victim blaming because they're also like losing their loved one in this instance. Yeah. And I think that people are really secretive. I don't think that somebody who's going to go be a mass murderer is going to like tell their family about it. Like, I don't think they're just like, hey, like I'm thinking about doing this horrible crime this weekend. What do you think? Like, no, that's like this like dark side of them that they're probably like trying to keep from their loved ones. So I always like am hesitant in books or anything like that to just immediately be like, oh, that she had to know. And she should have like come to the police sooner because she's wrestling with a lot in that instance. Even when she's starting to realize maybe it could be him, like the amount of self-doubt that you would have in that moment is like immense.
Yeah, very well said, because I completely agree with you.
Yeah, same. I guess that gives a little bit more background on like April and what she was dealing with. Like he wasn't always being the man that she thought she married, and it seemed like he was being pretty harsh with her and everything.
Yeah.
And after the girls team up, we get to see them start to be like, okay, we now have all the pieces to this puzzle. We have, Brescia and Sky that are starting everything off.
And then they meet with Megan at the police station because Megan follows her detective who heard that they impounded his car and is like, hey, what did you find? She had been an awesome detective and like calling and trying to follow up. And then I think there's a part in the book where they're following Sky's detective and he's just like not answering his phone that's ringing on the table and they're like screaming at him like, what are you doing? So she, like a badass, shows up in person and is like, hey, it's time to like listen to me and get some answers. And of course Megan's with her, and that's when Megan and Brisha reunite. And that was also kind of a sweet moment because Brisha knew exactly who Megan was instantly, and Megan was like, who are you? Like, and I believe she said that they touched each other and then they got like initial understanding, like perspectives, like instantly they knew exactly what each other had went through without having a conversation or anything like that. So that was kind of a beautiful moment. And then from there, the three girls are together, and with James fleeing, I think Sky separated with the car to follow him and see what he was up to, and like came running back and is like, he's fleeing. And then from there, the girls are like, let's go. And then they follow him to his remote cabin. So sorry, we had to back up a little bit and explain the cabin, but that's where like the second act is with the family, the girlies, and the murderer.
Yeah. And that's the first point where I did question, like, if I was April, would I have actually like uprooted my kids and gone to this remote, like weird cabin if like he supposedly didn't do anything? Like, that's where the first time I was like, well, that's like not the best decision making skills, or like if you have even an inkling of doubt, I don't think you go to a remote place with him. Yeah. And she did have an inkling of doubt. We saw it in her like perspective. So I didn't love that, because that's like, even if there's like a 1% chance, you're putting yourself and your kids in like such immense danger.
But at the same time, she already knows that he's been accused at this point and what he's been accused of and why. So I think as soon as she starts to clock that, like, okay, this is not normal behavior anymore or whatever, she's concerned about anything that she says or does that goes against it. Because I do agree with you. Like, that should have been the time to flee. Like, just don't go to this other location. She had the opportunity at that point. But I can understand where she's just like also in a pretty tough spot where she's like, well, what am I going to do? If I say no, what is he going to do?
Definitely. Yeah. If it was like the same situation where they're just going to a new town and starting over, I feel like I'd feel more safe in that setting. But like, go to the creepy cabin in the woods where you're getting told already you have to bring so many like canned foods because you're going to be stuck and not seeing civilization for months. Like, I don't know about that. Like, I
just feel like she was already in a spot. Like, once he was saying that, like, grab the emergency kit. He's not even saying like, go to the store and replenish the emergency kit. Yeah. We're leaving. Yeah. Like, I think that she was just like, oh, my time just ran out. Yeah. That's my silent Google searches. That was the point to me. Whereas as soon as she starts like checking in to see, do I believe this? That's when she should have left. Yeah. Because at that point, you're not trusting your partner anyway.
Yeah. But I do understand, like, I mean, I think everybody goes through doubt. So she's probably, you know, in those Google searches, just like, no, I can't really be right. Can I? Yeah. Like, I mean, you do.
You don't want to be right.
Yeah. No. You do gaslight yourself into believing, no, there's no way. But yeah, when he's like barking orders out there, it's like she was trying to like almost diffuse him a little and be like, well, like the girls have school, like we can't be gone for this long. She was also asking like, hey, like this person that you're reaching out to, like, are you sure we want to go stay at their place? Like, that doesn't seem right. And if you're innocent, like, won't the police find that out? Like, should we really be fleeing? And at each, you know, questioning that she's having, he's like shutting her down and like, kind of like at that point she's in the car now. Yeah. So what can she do?
Yeah. And tensions just like get worse, like higher and higher after that. Because when they're at the cabin, things aren't going great. Like, they're very close confined space. They have limited food. They like miscalculated how much food to bring. So
everyone has
like
dysentery.
Yeah. They're all ill. And starving, not starving, but like they planned the number of like days instead of meals, so they like have a fraction of what they need. And yeah, it's not fun there. Like, they're not having a good time. Emotions are high, tension's high, and he's getting like weirder and weirder, and it's definitely like kind of starting to freak April out. And this is where our ghosties come into play. Yeah, because they share some secrets from each other of like, ooh, like it was Sky, right, who had the hack of like, I scared the shit out of my mom when she was sleeping. Like, what if we try that? And they do it and it works.
Yes. Yeah. So they're all, and it's Brisha who is in April's ear, even though it's Sky that figures it out. She like Brisha has this now like connection with April. So I thought it was so appropriate that like they did that the way that they did. Just kind of like going back to like the girlies doing their thing and what you guys were talking about with Brisha and Megan. Brisha felt such a responsibility with both of the girls because she was first, that they had this like beautiful, weird, like awkward, I don't even know how to describe it moment where Brisha was just like, I'm so sorry. And it's like, girl, you're dead.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to apologize. This is just so not on you.
Yeah.
And I thought that was just such a like,
Yeah.
like for that part too.
But she
So I loved
tried.
how quickly that they were just like, like go see Girl Gang. This is just what we're doing now.
Yeah, and because right away Megan was like, he's gonna kill this family. Like he's in survival mode. He's gonna kill them, and she's like sounding the alarms for the other girls like right away of like, this is not gonna end well for them. Yeah. And she then, while they're like sharing, is like, I'm just gonna leave. I'm not gonna be here anymore. And Brisha is like, what do you mean? And that's when she tells, Brisha and Sky about the memories, about how like you can just fade into your memories and like that's where you'll end up and there's somebody waiting there for you. And I thought that was also a beautiful moment where they're like in the thick of it of like, we gotta do something, but there's not much that we can do. Just still sharing their experiences and like how to help each other still in the afterlife is like sweet.
Yeah, and they could have given up there because it wasn't looking good. Like they could see what his intentions were. They didn't seem like they had an out for April and the kids. And I'm sure that was tempting in that moment to be like, let's just all just go off to our memories because like I don't want to watch this family die. But they all kind of decided they wanted to just give it their best shot. Yeah. And they were able to wake her up when he was digging their graves, which was such an intense scene.
Yeah, dude. Like it makes me like catch my breath just thinking about. I'm like, I feel stressed again. That was so good.
I had goosebumps.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I read that like
like
literally.
Yeah. We're not, after you start reading from that point, there's literally no putting the book down. You're done.
No.
Yeah. But it's not a thriller, so
no. There's no suspense.
Yeah. No thrill.
No. But she wakes her up and she hears this noise and you're like, please go investigate. And I think she like steps out onto the porch. Shovel isn't there.
Yeah.
And it's like dead quiet. They're in the wilderness. So there's not like other noises. So like any noise that she makes too, you're stressed too. You're like, you better be quiet. But she's hearing the distinct sound of shovel hitting earth.
Yeah.
And you don't have her POV. You're watching her from the girlies, but you can tell that she's thinking. She's like, this doesn't seem right. I don't know, like what could he be doing that's like okay in this time of night? But she can't do anything about it at that point because I think he like finished digging or was like coming back and she just like pretended to be asleep. And that was like girl boss moment because she was like making her breaths deep. She was like making it believable. I feel like I'd be hyperventilating in that moment.
I just couldn't have done it.
No.
I would have been deceased.
I don't think I could have been like smart enough to be like, I need to get in bed. I think I would have like grabbed a knife and then I'd be like, what? I can't just like, what am I gonna do? Like stab him? I can't do that. Like, I don't think I'd function. I think I'd just be like standing there like, why are you digging our graves?
There's
like,
got to be something to be said for just like superhero mom mode.
Yes, she's thinking of her kids first.
Yeah. That's got to be that's why our brains don't work.
Yeah.
We're not moms.
Yeah, once we have kids, we'll just like elevate our brain power.
There's got to be some kind of like instinctual, just like survival mode that kicks in when you're a parent. Like,
I'm sure. Yeah.
Like, because you might not be able to figure it out for yourself, but you'll figure it out for your babies.
Yeah. And that was so stressful too because she played it off as nothing because she went back to bed. And the next day she was like looking for, I don't remember what she was looking
for the car keys.
For the car keys, because she wanted to just drive away. But he woke up early too because she made noise and she was like, I'm just making hot chocolate for all of us. And that was so stressful because I feel like you could tell both of them were like calling each other's bullshit. They're like, really? Like, that's what you're up early doing? And she's like, yeah, like, let's have a fun day together.
Yeah, and she did such a good job of being like, I know this is stressful right now, but like, we'll get through it. Like, she was putting on all her charm to be like, no, nothing's wrong. Yeah. This is a fun moment for us and the kids.
Girl boss gaslight gatekeep.
Yeah, like, literally. She was like,
And I guess that's a perfect transition to what she did with the girls after the whole hot chocolate situation.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, this is not going well. Things are getting bad. She's heard the shovel hitting the earth. She's like, our time is up now. So she takes the girls and she's like, hey, we're going to go look for berries to make a special treat for Daddy. Yay.
But you have to be quiet so that Daddy doesn't learn the surprise.
Yeah. And they're just like running off through the woods. And this to me was one of the easiest parts of the book to kind of picture.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was with them.
Yeah.
I felt like I was just like really immersed at this point where
Yeah.
I was just like, I could picture the road, I could picture the trees, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like I felt like I needed to be quiet while I was reading.
And after they've gone for a little bit, she hears, because again, this is like middle of nowhere. There's not a bunch of like sound pollution. So she can hear when he starts to come after them. And she is like, all right, kids, like there's this, not to freak you out, but there's this bear chasing us. And now we have to go faster and we have to be really quiet. And they're like freaked out, of course. They're like, there's a bear chasing us. And that was horrifying because you can hear his car, you can hear him running on foot. And we reach a point where he's catching up to them. Like the ghosty girlies are watching them and they see the mom register that he is like about to be there. And she hides them and she's like,
She just face plants.
yes. She's like, you're not going to say anything. Like the bear's right there. You're going to be so quiet. And I was so scared that that James was going to like say something and call out to the girls and they'd be like, oh, daddy, we're over here. I was so scared of that.
Yeah.
Because she hadn't prepped them for that at all. She was like, it's just this bear. And so if that happened, I was like, there's no way they'd be quiet. But thankfully he didn't. He just wasn't able to find exactly where they were. And he ended up going back to his car. And this was like many miles. I think it ended up being like 7 miles or something she had to go with these kids. And it was stressful. It was at night. And so when she finally made it to the road, she couldn't risk like flagging down a car because it could have just been James.
Yeah, because she can't tell.
Yeah.
In the dark, it's just headlights.
There was one set of headlights that she was going to approach and then she's like, I can't risk that. Like there's a chance. Like I have to just try to make it on foot. And so that brings us to her making it to the town after hours of going with these kids. And oh my God, that bar scene.
Oh my God, yeah.
I still give me chills.
Yeah, I can't imagine walking for like, that had to be like at least a 12-hour like hike.
With little kids,
Yeah, that had to be so freaking long. And then she walks in and then is feeling relieved. Like I made it. She didn't see his van in the parking lot.
Which she scanned for. She was very careful. Like his car is nowhere. I'm okay.
Yeah. Walks in, he's sitting at the bar. He didn't see her, thank God.
But just right there, the first place you go to.
Oh, yeah.
Just ridiculous.
Yeah. So she, of course, beelines into the bathroom, locks the door with the kids, and is just like, I can't remember exactly what she said to them to be like, oh, we're just going to hang out in the bathroom.
Yeah, I think she said something. Oh, man, never mind. I thought I remembered, but I don't remember. Well, while we're checking for
yards
that.
away, sitting at the bar was James. I died.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I forgot to give props to the ghosty girls for getting him to go away.
Oh, yeah. And for calming the girls, too, because it seemed like Emma and Kimmy could, like, responded to the ghost girlies.
Yeah.
Like, if they were like, listen to your mother, they, like, shut up and did.
Like, April was going through everything that she was going through.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the girls are like, we got to just do whatever we can. And they were constantly trying to just like comfort the girls. And then when it came down to when he did go to run away or whatever, they were like getting in his ear, like, they're not over here. Turn around. Like, you waited too long. Or,
yeah, just filling the doubt that he must have been having.
I felt so happy for them, though. Like, once he turned around, I was like, what a victory for them.
Yes.
Like that.
Back to the 1-star reviews of the ghost didn't do anything. They sure did.
Yeah, they sure did.
She wouldn't have even known about the graves. Like they would have died.
Yeah.
In the bathroom though, they don't have a conversation about it because she literally scooped both kids up and ran them to the bathroom.
Okay.
And they were like in shock. They said, Mommy, why are we all in here together? I need a drink of water. I'm hungry. And her body is shaking. She sets the girls down. And then that's pretty immediately when there's a knock at the door and somebody's there.
Okay. So
after that, we get some insight from like Sky saying, I don't think he saw them and stuff. And then there's already that woman. So there wasn't like a conversation about what's going on at that point. It all happened pretty fast after that, where there is somebody there and she has to make the decision, like, do I open this door? Like, what do I do? Because there's no window. She can't escape from the bathroom. And yeah, that was I didn't know what I wanted her to in that moment.
Yeah, you're right. I was thinking about, I think when the girl said that they were thirsty.
Yes. Yeah.
And I thought that there was like an extra discussion there, but there just wasn't. I think they just drank out of the sink.
Yeah.
Which also just like, those poor girls.
I know.
Like being so scared and then you're just yanked into the bath. You have no idea what's going on. I think that I would have probably felt comfortable opening the door.
As long as I had heard a voice first and know that it's not him.
Yeah.
Like if I hear a woman's voice, because she was worried that like she's in a public setting. Theoretically, she should be able to be like, this man is going to kill me. Like, help, call 911. But she hasn't prepped her kids for this. Her kids are going to be like, Daddy, yay. And so she thought they were all going to think she's some hysterical, like crazy woman. And he's going to be able to be like, oh, so sorry, everyone. She's like kind of bonkers and just take them and leave.
She switched her meds.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's what her fear was. But if she could have heard and she was able to tell this is a woman outside the door, then I think that's her best bet because like she doesn't have other options. And she was able to be like, she saw the ask for Andrea. She asked the girl for Andrea. Yeah. And that's how it all ended up being okay. The police showed up and James, I hate James, but he had the confidence. He really thought it was all going to be fine when the police showed up for him.
Oh yeah.
He's like, I'm just here. Like,
yeah, I'm just having a drink.
Yeah, I'm a nobody.
Despite the fact that this book was, written from the point of view from the girlies and everything, we learned a crap ton about James. I love how much we're not actually talking about James.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's exactly the point of the book.
Yes. Yeah. She did it so well that James was not the interesting character.
No.
Like, the three girls were the interesting character. And then that last second, like, act with April and the girls, like, I cared so much for them and I was so rooting for them. But James was like, he's just like the bad guy in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was very like,
just the
he was
bear.
he was just the bear.
Yeah.
Bear in the woods.
Yeah. Although I'd still choose a bear over him.
Yes. Yeah. A bear 100% of the time.
I do want to say one last thing about the Ghost Girlies because they do all kind of like fade into their memories, but Sky was, a little bit younger and didn't have that many people passed already. So I thought it was sweet how they waited for, I think it was Brisha specifically waited for her to find somebody to like welcome her into the afterlife before she also faded away. So I just want to say that was super sweet. Another girl gang moment. It was such a great book.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
It really was. Like, I love a beautiful thriller.
Thriller with some depth to it.
Yeah.
All right, let's share our ratings, Maggie.
I think I gave this book 5 stars. It was so much fun to read. It's like a quick read. You blow through it real quick. And if you listen to like our podcast episode and you didn't want to pick up this book, I think, you're crazy. But yeah, definitely 5 stars for me.
Yeah, I would agree. 5 stars. It was just different from anything I'd ever read. So I loved it a lot. And it made you think despite being a thriller. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. I just enjoyed it. Just read it.
This is the first time we've all rated a book 5 stars. Oh, no, Atmosphere. Yeah.
Also wonderful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I rated it 5 stars as well.
Yeah.
It was absolutely insane. I have read one of her books and it was very like classic thriller, but done really well. So this was just such a like, I guess, breath of fresh air that I didn't know I was wanting in a thriller, but it really just like, it had all the aspects I love in a thriller, but also had those things that we've talked about where it like made me think about my life and like think about what I'm prioritizing. And it's a story that's definitely going to like leave an impact on me. And definitely to me, that's 5 stars. If it's a book that I'm going to like have a life impact from, I can't not rate that 5 stars.
Yeah, totally agree. That's the definition of a 5-star book for me. I mean, there's books I'll give 5 stars just because I love them so much, but like if it did that despite whatever it was, I'm going to give it 5 stars.
Yes.
Yeah. I agree.
All right, I think that kind of wraps up our discussion on Ask for Andrea. Noelle is definitely an author. I think we're all going to go read all of her books now because that was just so well written, and I'm super excited for the prequel.
Yeah.
But next month we are discussing Thorn Season by Kiera Azar. This is a young adult romantasy book, so kind of switching up our genres. We haven't done a fantasy in quite a while, so hope to see you guys there. Make sure you follow us on all our socials, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.